Hello, my friends. Guess who it is? It's your friendly Puerto Rican coach, Manny. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. I just wanted to jump on here before practice. Let's make sure that we are live in the group. Excellent. And so I wanted to jump on here. I want to talk about building powerful connections for business growth and using networking. Are you a networker? Do you get out there and meet with other professionals? Drop a comment below and let me know if that is something that you're doing for your business. See, if it's one thing I have learned is that networking can truly build a lot of relationships, a lot of trust. And I have now been networking, I want to say, I don't even know, maybe 9 years now. Like literally, it's been a while that I've been networking. I absolutely love it. I love the relationships that I have grown because of networking. And that's what made me want to jump on here today and kind of dive into a little bit on the power of networking. Basically, networking 101 and what it can do to help you leverage referrals and networking, okay? And so here is a few things that I want to dive into. Well, the power of referrals. If it's one thing I have learned is that referrals, it's a high trust source for new clients, okay? When someone refers you, they know you, they like you, they trust you. They believe in you. And so when I'm out there and I'm building relationships, one of the things that I want to make sure is that they understand where I'm coming from and I'm understanding where they're coming from. Today I was in a networking meeting, and in this networking meeting, I talk about what is the goals of our all-star groups. Well, as I share, it's to increase our group's production. But one of the things to do that is to make referrals, to make introductions. And truth is, it starts with one-to-ones, right? It starts with sitting down and getting to know about one another and their business, what drives them, what their goals are. I cannot refer to someone if I really don't know who they are. And so if you're a referred client, right? If someone refers someone to you, guess what? They're likely to convert and stay loyal because it comes from a trusted source. So think about that for a second. Someone is referring you like, hey, this person does this. You're looking for a house cleaner? Well, guess what? I know someone Eats Co-Cleaning. As you know, I'm affiliated with them because I'm their chief marketing officer for the franchising, and our goal is to grow that company through franchising. My friends, if you're looking for a cleaning business, let's talk about that. But at the end of the day, I had to get to know what they're about, right? And so that's key that you have those moments of where you're going to schedule a meeting, you're going to sit down, you're going to get to know one another. But I would be careful to not make it so cookie cutter. I once sat down with someone, and I'll never forget this. This was in my early days, and the person literally had a step by step on how this meeting was going to go. And I got it. They didn't want to waste their time. They didn't want to waste our time. So at 8:05, I'm using as an example, 8:05, we're going to talk about this. At 8:10, we're going to talk about this. At 8:20, I was like, I was new to networking. So to me, I'm like, it still felt strange, but whatever. You have your ways that it makes it work for you, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, we want to, what are we trying to do, right? We really want to get to know one another. So if we're being so cookie cutter, or if we're being so uncomfortable where the other person might be uncomfortable, that may not work. That may not be a great referral source. And so I know that a lot of my Facebook friends are actually networkers as well. I know a lot of my Facebook friends and my YouTube followers in my social media. As you guys know, I also am partnered with a couple, Dory and Kevin, and we do a lot of video stuff over there. You guys know I also have a channel where I kind of focus on networking and social media for growth. And I also have a true crime channel. And so I do a lot of videos. It's very true. Now, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to focus on the true crime stuff for the most part, but I'm not going anywhere from that. I'm just trying to rework my schedule as I get it all in. So what else do I want to talk about? Well, how to encourage client referrals. Well, if you have a satisfied client that you've been working with, ask for referrals. You can ask them, hey, you're satisfied with me, ask for a referral. So in one case, one of my networking buddies, we're looking at using his SEO services. And so in the SEO world, it's like, okay, there are people that do networking, but guess what? Hey, my friend, can you send me some referrals on people you're working with before we hire you? We want to see what they're going to say about you. He quickly sent me three people that I can, of his clients that I can reach out to, right? So if you have a satisfied client, ask for that referral. If you're looking to use someone's business and you're like, hey, I want to see what kind of work you've helped people get, ask them for, can you send me a few referrals of people who have used your services? I think that's always a great thing. But if you're also trying to encourage more client referrals, implement a referral program with incentives or rewards. I know one person who's like, hey, if you send me a referral and they close business, I'll give you $500, right? In one case, hey, if they send us a referral and it actually closes into a business, we'll give them 5 digits of a commission for just sending us a great lead that actually turns into a business, right? So these are key things that, if you're trying to encourage client referrals, well, how about staying top of mind by maintaining those relationships with past clients? A lot of times you might become Facebook friends. Well, if you see them pop up on your timeline, why don't you give them a like on their content? Why don't you give them a comment? Guess what? That keeps you top of mind. So I think that's important. Well, what about building a strong referral network? Well, if you're partnering with complementary businesses, like for example, in my particular case, I'm not a web designer, but I have a great referral partner that does web designs for us. I've hired her on, 6 different projects. Someone else recently said, hey, Manny, we're looking for a web person. Do you have a connection? Absolutely. Is it a local person? It's not a local person, but it's a trusted source. So I am happy to send referrals to that person. And we don't do SEO for our Catman marketing agency, but I have a great referral source as I just shared with you, right? And when you have these complementary businesses, this is great for mutual referrals. A friend of mine today was like, hey, Manny, I have a client who's a chiropractor. Is this something you do? I said, no, that's not quite something that I really like to focus on, but here's someone else. And we both knew this person. So it was like she already said, I was thinking about referring her. And I was like, that's a great source. So I think those are key things. Another thing to help you build a strong referral network, and this is something that I've already shared with you, but join local and online networking groups to expand your circle. A lot of us are probably familiar with different groups. This one here is the O'Fallon All-Stars that we meet every Wednesday morning. This is the group that I've been a part of for now like 9 years. Do you think I would stay with this group for 9 years if there wasn't some great value? Every Friday morning, I meet with another group. This is the Friday group. And in our last meeting, we had like 52 people. Now, we have been a tribe for about 5-6 years now. Do you really think I would stay in this group if I didn't find some value in this group? So I think these are key things to keep in mind. Like, there's a lot of value. But I'll be completely honest with you. I just love people. I love building relationships. I moved to St. Louis with my wife and family about 12 years ago. And when I moved here, I only knew like one person. But now you can see behind me here, there's a lot of friends that I have and associates that I know, right? And guess what? Because I do this a lot where I share pictures of me in the networking groups, because I do that quite a bit, I have a lot of people on my Facebook list that will reach out to me when they're looking for a connection. By the way, I want to just throw this out there. If you have a business and you're local and you want to network, come check out these groups with me. I'm happy to invite you. I would love to have you there. On our Friday group, there is no industry exclusivity, so anyone can come and be a part of it. Now, we are limited on how many people we can have in this room, but at the end of the day, come check it out. All right, so these are key things. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of giving referrals. You know, if it's one thing I've learned, and I think I heard this from BNI, I'm not in a BNI group. I think it's called Business Networking International. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what BNI, but to be honest with you, I'm looking very strongly at BNIs now for the franchising portion of Eads Co-Cleaning franchising. But if it's one thing I've learned, give before you expect to receive. And if it's one thing that I want to do is I want to be top of mind. How can I help you? I even tell people like, hey, if you're moving, I want to help you move. I've moved homes by myself. It's not fun. So I never want someone else to be in that situation. But if I'm giving before I expect to receive, guess what? Referring business to others, it's going to build trust and it's going to build reciprocity, right? Give to live. I think that might be a saying from BNI. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a part of that. But I think that it's key that when you focus on who can I help, the universe is just going to bring it back to you. I'm a firm believer in that. You never know when someone's going to refer to you. You never know when someone's going to hire you to do business. And if it's one thing, I could think of people top of mind right now that I feel like they're more takers than givers. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know them enough. But in my heart, I'm like, my gosh, you're always wanting. I want to hear you give. But I also know other people that are always out to give. I can easily think of a lot of community leaders who are always out there doing the do. And guess what? It's easy to stay top of mind. I remember one friend who said, one of my best friends is a real estate agent, but I didn't go with them to sell my home. I went with the other person who is always top of mind as that real estate agent. They're always out there. They're always in the community. They're always making big things happen. That person was always top of mind, and that's the one that they went with to sell their home. So I think it's key that as you're approaching this, these are key things, give before you expect to receive. And I know a lot of times, you're in business and you're like, man, I just need business. I'm here to get business. If you're in networking, I wouldn't recommend taking that approach. I would take the approach of how can I help you? I've had multiple people, right or wrong, I've had multiple people that said, man, I feel like you're interviewing me. Well, if we're sitting down, I want to get to know you. I want to ask you questions so I can understand you. And so that's why I ask a lot of questions. And if it's one thing I've learned, that if you want to be in control of a conversation, ask questions, let them talk. A lot of people love to talk about themselves. Let them talk. And so I think it's key. Now, I want to share with you some networking tips for success. It's so key that you're authentic and that you focus on relationship building, not just pitching your services. Again, if you just focus on building that relationship, being there, if there's events that are going on, try to be there. As you guys know, if you've been following me, I also coach a racquetball team. We have almost 50 kids, and I coach 5 to 6 days a week. And during the season, sometimes I'm going 14 to 21 days in a row without a rest. So it does take away from me being out there in the community a little more. But again, when I commit to something, I'm all in. I don't want to commit to a group that I cannot be all in. So that's where I get a little like, man, I wish I could be there more, but I already have this commitment. Right? A buddy of mine put together a meeting and he was disappointed I couldn't be there. But my friends, I already have this. I cannot just say I'm not going to be here because I'm going to go over here. Sometimes, yes, it can work out, but a lot of times it doesn't always work out. All right? So that's a key thing. Now, another networking tip, practice your elevator pitch. That way you can clearly explain what you do and who your ideal clients are. One of the things that I try to do is stay top of mind. So at the end of I'll call it my infomercial, when I get up and I share who I am for 30 seconds, I want to stay top of mind. And so I'll close it out. If you're not too sure how to use social media for your business, just call your Puerto Rican friend. I'm here to help. Peace. So I do that, and you can hear everyone in the group. They're all peacing because they're used to it. They hear it multiple times. Okay? That's one of the ways to stay top of mind, but practice it. Practice it. And some of the practice will be just showing up on a regular basis and practicing that message. And if you're in my networking group, you know I don't miss meetings unless I have to, and it's generally racquetball related, right? At the end of February coming up, I go to Portland every other year. And so we're going to be going to Portland for high school nationals. In June, we go to junior nationals. So I will have to miss the meeting here and there. And sometimes I just can't make it because of generally not work related, because this is on my schedule. And to me, networking is also work. So that's why I don't miss much meetings unless I really can't help it. And so sometimes there might be a community event that I'm trying to prioritize, right? And those are key things. Be there, be present, be in the mind of who can I help. That's my practice. That's what I practice. My friends, let me know in the comments what you practice. If you're a networker or virtual networker or networking on Facebook, yes, you can Facebook virtually on Facebook, right? On Instagram. You can network through those different ways as well. You know, being in networking groups, those are key things, all right? Another networking tip, follow up with any new contacts after the networking events. This way it can help you nurture relationships. Today I invited someone from Eats Co Cleaning to come to All Stars. The position in All Stars, there is exclusivity. We can only have one cleaning company, one social media person, one mortgage, real estate, right? And so the cleaning person, she was brand new to networking. And so one of the things that she said even during there was like, hey, I'm new to this, but I'm gonna schedule one-to-ones. And as my buddy Craig said last week, that, and this is so key, Craig, the Treat Box guy. Maybe you know Craig Postal. If you don't, look up the Treat Box guy. Great guy. And he shared, don't expect people to reach out to you to schedule these one-to-ones. Yes, if you grab their attention and it is a service that they may need, yes, they will schedule a one-to-one with you because they're thinking this is what they need. But truth is, my friends, why don't you make that attempt first, right? Make the attempt first to schedule that one-to-one, because that's going to help you stay top of mind. That's going to show some effort, and that's going to help you start nurturing that relationship. And so these are going to be new contacts. And so when you have these new contacts, you've gone to the networking events, now have those one-to-ones to get to know them. All right. The next thing I want to share is leverage social media for networking as well. Okay. You can use LinkedIn. You can use Facebook groups. This is going to help you connect with like-minded professionals. Okay. LinkedIn, if you're a professional, LinkedIn's a great source. Those people are not there to have fun. They're not there to be nosy. They're there to do business for the most part. Now, from what I understand, LinkedIn has kind of changed a little bit. It seems like some people are finding dates on there. I don't know what that's about, but I still say it is a professional networking type social media profile. All right. So I think those are key things. And another way to leverage social media for networking is engage consistently with posts and comments. This will help you stay visible to your network. Those are key things to help you stay top of mind. And so as you're thinking about, what should I do to help to stay top of mind? Well, go and network and comment on people's stuff. There is a Facebook group called ICAG. I know a guy, gal. That's one of the greatest ways to tag people. There's a lot of people that, hey, I'm looking for this. Who do you know? That's a great way to network and refer your people. That's a great way. That's why it's important to have a good social media profile. That's important. Why? I mean, if you're not on social media, it's really hard to tag you. If and you never see this and then you can't follow up, that's not going to help you get that business. If someone tags you in a post and as a referral, like, hey, this is a great source. Someone's looking for a handyman. Hey, Bruce, this person's looking for a handyman. I'm going to tag them and he's going to follow up. If you don't know Bruce Petrov with Home Maintenance Solution, great, reliable handyman. Okay, I think that this is key in having a social media profile. That way you make it easier for people to tag you and then you can follow up. And I'll tell you what, that can potentially turn into business. I remember one person was like, man, I get tagged in that thing, but I never get anything out of it. Well, guess what? It was eventually that it actually closed a huge sale for this person. Huge sale. Okay, so early on, after being tagged billions of times over a year, obviously I'm exaggerating, but they were tagged one of the most referred to people on that group. And so I remember them making that comment to me that I really don't ever get anything out of it, but please keep tagging me. But eventually they landed a really big deal. And if you're in networking groups, and then all of a sudden someone's asking about this particular service that they need, and then your networking buddies are tagging you, my gosh, can you imagine the credibility that brings? My friends, it truly works. And so make sure to help yourself stay top of mind, make sure you're engaging consistently with posts and comments. It's going to help you stay visible to your network. It's also going to help you stay top of mind. I remember this one real estate agent. She shared with me, because she wasn't talking real estate on social media. Yes, you should use your personal profile for business. Okay, I highly recommend it, but I do not recommend that you use it all the time for all your business, right? I normally recommend 1 out of 4 posts should be business related. The other should be motivational. The other should be sharing about your family. The other should be educational. And you know what? Go for the sale. I think those are key things. And the last thing that I want to share is, make sure that you track and you measure your referral success. That's one of the values that I've learned about BNI. I'm going to bring them up again because they're one of the well-known organizations out there. But you are expected to track your referrals that you're giving and getting. That way, number one, you know that there's some value in that group. Okay, now, do I track it? Not as much as I should. Okay, but I can tell you that who has sent me business, and I can also tell you when I'm, not doing my part enough. Because I can tell you if I'm going and I'm not sending referrals, I'm not really feeling great about doing it right. Because if I'm not sending referrals, I'm not doing my part. Truth is, if I'm not sending referrals, I'm not doing my part. And there's a good chance that the referrals are not also coming back if I'm not doing my part. But if you are keeping a record of your referrals and the sources, this way you can reward and prioritize those valuable partners. When I sit down in a one-to-one, I'm asking them, who's a good referral source for you? Who can I connect you to that I may be connected to? Now, I have one friend who I would love to refer to, but the people who he's asking me for, I don't know that person, right? I don't know that source. So I'm like, can you give me something a little more within my realm? Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna ask me to reach out to these people and I don't know them, well, I can't refer you if that's the only person you want to be referred to. So have a few different options that this person is a great referral source. This person is a great referral source. That way it's a little easier to refer to you. So keep these points in mind, and this is going to help you with your networking, because at the end of the day, when you're out there networking, it is to grow your business. Just don't make that your main focus where you're, okay, who's going to send me business? When I sit in a networking group, I'm not thinking about selling to the room. They're actually my sales team. I want them to think about me when they're out there. So if someone's thinking social media marketing, I want them to think about me. If they're thinking, hey, I want to use video for business, I want them to think about me. And as the chief marketing officer for Eads Co Cleaning Franchising, hey, if someone's looking to start a business and they don't really know where to start, I would love to chat with them because there's different avenues that I may be able to connect them to. And at the end of the day, maybe I cannot help, but there's a very good chance that I know someone who can. That's where networking is so great. Now, if you hate people, networking may not be for you. All right. So, hey, come check out O'Fallon All Stars. Come check out the Friday group. Let me know who you would like an introduction to. And my friends, if you're thinking about starting using social media for your business and you're not too sure where to go, just call your Puerto Rican friend. I'm here to help. I'll talk to you soon, and